So I'm sitting in the 2013 Nissan GTR Premium Edition with 550 brake horsepower. James says this car is the supercar slayer, so I'm really looking forward to feel the performance of this car. And with the Nismo Edition just being launched and going around the Nürburgring in 7 minutes and 6 seconds, this car really excites me. For £70,000, you can imagine though, the interior isn't as luxurious as its Mercedes SLS or the Ferrari 458 rivals. It's got a lot of plastic and a lot of fake carbon fibre, and it just doesn't have that supercar feel. It even has 4 seats and it feels quite big when you're in this car, but you can't ignore the power. So I'm really looking forward to getting this car on the road and experiencing this car's performance.
It takes a little while to do it. Thinks about it for a second.
There we go.
And then does it.
Nice little... We've done a couple of high-end supercar budgets with the 458, which is around £200,000. SLS AMG 150. This, as most people know, it's around £70,000, and you can even buy second-hand ones like 2009 for like 35,000.
I mean, and you know, as we will find out, this is a in regards to out-and-out performance, it's a Ferrari and SLS rival completely.
So we're going to categorise this in the same category as the 458 in terms of performance.
In terms of performance, absolutely. I mean, in some ways, you know, it might be even an overachiever compared to something like the Ferrari, just because it is, as we've you know, we've talked about with other cars before. This specifically is based around performance, absolutely, completely.
It's an out-and-out performer.
It's built as a it's built essentially as a race car for the road. Yes, they put some nice comfy seats in there, and apparently there's 4 seats. You know, couldn't fit. You have to have children with no legs to get in the back of this.
So let's feel the power. Whoa, it is quick. So this car's got 550 brake horsepower.
This is the premium spec, 550 horsepower. So I mean, if you think about it, because the GTR kind of, the numbers just pale into insignificance, because you know there's so much that you can do with it, and it is kind of, you know, it's a real number cruncher. Then, you know, I don't know what it is with this, but when you know, when somebody says it's got 550 brake, you don't think of it as that powerful, but you know, but it is. I mean, that's a lot of horsepower. I mean, you know, this is you know, kind of 50 horsepower over something like a C63, or probably even more than that, 70 horsepower or so. I mean, it's only 10 shy really of the 458. If you think about it, 458's 563, something like that. It's,
the,
you know,
the Lamborghini
will be 560, so it's in and around that kind of power. Even though it is actually significantly heavier than both, it is quite a heavy car.
But it's quite a big car, and you do sit high quite up. You don't feel as
like
connected to the road. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a supercar, but I tell you what, that performance when you're accelerating,
very much so.
you know you're in something super fast.
It is super quick. Second and third gear in this are easily as fast as the 458. Easily. It's got a different type of
£35,000.
You can get one with 600 horsepower for that. It's up there with a supercar in regards to body cost. See, even
speed camera.
It tells you that they're there. That's proof. It's built to go quickly everywhere. It tells you that they're coming up because it assumes you're going to be doing 200 everywhere. So coming up to the PV tunnel, the tunnel run,
Premier Velocity Supercar Test Tunnel.
The thing is, you know, of course, it's not a 458. You know, it's not a Lamborghini. It's a you know, a V6 with a couple of huge, great, you know, child-sucking turbos on it, and so it's just going to be a great big wall of turbo. Just a great big whoosh every time. Yeah, exactly.
But it's something different. So
it is something different, and
there's going to be people that like it and people that
very
don't.
Much so, and it does still sound good. It really does.
So here we go, GTR tunnel. my stomach on that one.
I think the GTR is one of those cars that is actually becoming globally recognised by not just automotive car fans. It's, for example, when the Audi R8 first came out, that was probably one of the first supercars that we saw brought to the market new that was recognised by everybody that wasn't a Lamborghini or a Ferrari.
Yeah,
so people would see an R8 on the road and they'd be like, oh, it's an R8.
Yeah.
Whereas now this is out.
It's a GTR.
Oh, it's a GTR. And, people recognise it because of Top Gear, because and the fact that the automotive market is so open now compared to what it used to be, and and there's that element of competition like there used to be in the racing back in the day. There's a competition for road cars now, and so this is one of those cars. It is recognised and respected throughout the industry. Whenever you see, especially the driving magazines, when they do reviews of new cars coming out, or even when McLaren and Ferrari bring out a benchmark new car, or Porsche brings out a new car, then the GTR is usually a competitor because they just recognise that it is just so good at what it does. It's not even trying.
It's not even breaking the sweat.
It's not even trying.
It is super fast.
It's a fast car.
It's so fast.
It's proper quick.
It's definitely exciting, because why spend £100,000 when you can spend £40,000? I do like the sound of the whoosh.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The GTR. The GTR done with the mouth is just. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Supercar impressions on
Car impressions.
Supercars of London. This GTR it's definitely an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener because this is the first time I've sat in a GTR and been out in a GTR.
Mm-hmm.
So to understand what its capabilities are and to really feel the performance and the power that I've read so many times on the internet and watched on YouTube of seeing like 600 brake horsepower, 700 brake horsepower Nissan GTRs, you can't quite understand it until you get in it.
The great thing about these cars, okay, is that if you're a real petrol head, it's a surprise vehicle. That's what I say to people. I say, look, don't get it twisted and think it's a Nissan, or that it's taken down by the badge, or that all it is a boy racer's car that is hyped up by the younger generation. It isn't. It's a proper, serious performance car. It's the real deal. Just look at the magazines, not the people on the internet that
And watch this video.
Seriously, and watch the video.
And show your friends.
Yeah, and show everyone. No plugging here. But seriously, look at all the videos on the internet where anything specific, where they've done any calibration, any 0 to 60, 0 to 100 times, any of that kind of stuff. Okay, because all the claims to fame are true. It is.
Read it and believe it.
Read it and believe it, because it is that. It's a slingshot.
It is a slingshot.
I tell you what, when I first drove this car, I remember saying to somebody, I said it's like an elastic band. It is like an elastic band. Ping it back and it's gone. Straight away. In the time that you take to pull it back, that's the turbo light.
What an experience the Nissan GTR is.
Yes.
So we can now say 3rd episode done.